my name's Emily and I'm a London Blue Badge guide, and I'm sat just next to the River Thames in an area called Rotherhive. Just on the other side of the river is an area called Rotherhithe, and before the 1840s there was no easy way to get over to the other side, but there is now. So we have arrived at the Brunel Museum, and it was here where the first ever tunnel was built under a navigable river. Now this museum in Rotherhive may be tiny, but it has a huge story to tell. You see, what happened inside didn't just change the country, but it changed the world and the way that we view tunnelling today.
Marc Brunel early on had a patent around 1818 for a tunnel shield, and it was a circular shield. His inspiration was shipworm that he had observed when he was in the French Royal Navy. This idea of a tunnel shield enables men to be tunneling and then bricklayers to reinforce the tunnel as they move forward under soft earth. This model shows a cross-section of men working in the shield. This compartmentalization and tunneling at just a small bit at a time enables them to create a bore that's much larger than anything that's ever been done before. The space is quite unique, and it's difficult to imagine what it was like in the 1840s. It was rendered in beautiful white plaster, and there were sweeping staircases coming down. You can see the imprint of where the staircases were. The floor that you see is about halfway down that shaft, and running directly underneath us are trains from the London Overground.
Wow, so that's the noise that we can sometimes hear.
That's the noise that you hear. Amazing. It's interesting, this particular tea towel is a great representation of what the entrance, the grand entrance hall looked like when it opened in 1843. You can see there was a grand foyer where people entered and they came down one of these sweeping staircases down into the tunnel.
Now when the Thames Tunnel opened, as a member of the public, you could go down there and walk through the tunnels to get to the other side of the river. And within the tunnels, you would find little stalls. And it said that if you got to the end of the tunnel on the other side, you were laden in all sorts of goods. It really showed your bravery, because you stopped, you conversed with people, you purchased things, as opposed to someone coming out to the other side holding nothing because they were probably scared that the roof was going to cave in. Now, even though lots of people walked through the tunnel, it didn't really make much money. But thankfully, about 20 years later, in the 1860s, it was taken over by the East London Railway. And actually, the tunnels are still used by the trains today, and it's how I arrived. Rotherhive Station is just up the road. So, after visiting the amazing Brunel Museum, you've got to check out this area of Rotherhive. It displays echoes from the past everywhere. And it would be rude not to go into the Mayflower pub for a drink.